Welcome back to the Hunger Games Simulator. But this time is Hunger Games 3. District 1 is Red. Red is the winner of the second Hunger Games, and he probably pulls out a threat because he's angry. And alongside him in District 1 is Yumi. Yumi appeared in the second Hunger Games, but she's dead. But she won my revival Hunger Games. And if you didn't know, for my revival Hunger Games is that only one of the characters can come back, and Yumi is the fortunate one. So congrats for her. District 2, we got Peashooter and Kernel-pult. Peashooter, he may seem to be this regular character that can just shoot peas, but this guy also had different abilities. He can become Gatling pea, shoot chili bean bombs, and also can jump high and run fast. Kernel-pult, on the other hand, I don't think he's gonna do well. Yes, he has that corn and butter attack. The butter attack more better because he could just stun anyone completely, but out of all the characters, I don't think bro is gonna survive out there very long. Yes, he sure survived the zombie apocalypse, but still. District 3, we got Eddy. Eddy been through a lot of crap, so I don't think this will do him. He survived getting crushed by a house, able to bend the laws of gravity, and do some random stuff. But we got Blossom. Unlike Eddy, she has superpowers. She can fly like a superhero, like a bunch of other superheroes we know that who can fly. But she also has different abilities like laser eyes and ice breath. When she blows, she can freeze anyone. Now we got District 4. We got some random characters. We got Grizzy. Grizzy is somewhat like Eddy, but without the plot. But not. It's somewhat like Eddy, but not Eddy at the same time. Grizzy is huge, but he doesn't have that. Grizzy might be huge, but he doesn't have that much brains because the only thing that he can do is violence. That's all. So that's definitely give him a disadvantage. But his advantage is that he will literally get anything he wants. Once his yummy chocolate spread is stolen, he literally goes out there to find it. And willing to beat the crap out of anyone who dares step in his way to finding his yummy. Now we got Oggy. Oggy is this cat. Oggy is a lot more better than Grizzy in my opinion. He's faster, he's more agile, and he can survive a bunch of random crap. From literally being crushed by a bunch of cars, Grizzy barely even, Oggy able to regenerate himself after being crushed by cars. Grizzy barely even escaped when he got trapped inside a freaking machine. Oh wait, bro barely can even get out as he got crushed by a tree. He barely can even get out. Now we got District 5. We got some strong characters. Pit. We got Pit. Pit is an angel, so this probably give him a few advantage. He has arrows and two swords that can combine into an arrow. I mean, no, a bow. Yeah, two swords can become a bow when Pit connects them. So that actually is a cool gimmick. Now we got Bayonetta. She's one of the strongest so far. She can summon this giant demon thing. She has guns as well. And she has guns. District 6, we got two popular YouTubers, Pewdiepie and Markiplier. Pewdiepie, these two might be just some regular person, but Markiplier, he literally has that meme where he just punched someone or something. But he still has. District 7 is Luigi. Luigi may be a coward, but he can jump a lot more higher and also had different abilities like the Luigi missile. But he's still a coward, unfortunately. Alongside him is Shulk. Shulk has that blade. And when he uses blade and he's doing his backslash, if the opponent is backwards, he's able to use that backslash on them and they will send flying. So that's actually give him a lot more strength. Now we got District 8. Two anime characters from the same series, Loid and Yuri from Spy X Family. Loid is an assassin. Loid is a spy. And Yuri is an assassin. So this gives them advantage. Number 9. District 9 is Kirby. Kirby is one of the most strongest characters so far. Is literally the strongest character here. Kirby can inhale anyone. But, nah, just kidding. Kirby is not really that strong in my opinion. Yeah, sure, he has that suck ability, but once he transforms into the character, once he had their abilities after copying them, the opponent would just pop out. Would have been released out of Kirby. Well, you might be saying that, bro, this is not how it's Kirby, but in Smash Brothers it does. But I don't really want it to be too, because I don't want to make Kirby too overpowered. Well, you're probably gonna be angry at this because there's also overpowered characters, but nah, just kidding. Meta Knight. Meta Knight is a sword fighter. He's a really good sword fighter. And he's cool. District 10 is Squidward. And Hatsune Miku. These two barely does a lot, but Squidward can just snap any second. And Hatsune Miku can just make cool music. But Squidward barely does anything. I don't think Squidward could snap. When he snaps, it's due to SpongeBob. But since there's no SpongeBob here, I think Squidward just be doing his random stuff. Hatsune Miku could just make her music. But she also is, I think she's a lot more stronger than Squidward. In my opinion. I don't know, because I see a lot of videos where Hatsune Miku has a pipe bomb, and also that Miku beam thing. Oh, I think I'm getting myself distracted. District 11 is Nazz from a newspaper. Nazz doesn't do a lot except she's one of the weakest here so far. Nazz doesn't do a lot, but she slaps Kevin so hard in the face that Kevin has a hand mark on his face in Big Picture show. Newspaper barely. But once you rip his newspaper will beat the crap out of you. Like, bro will not give any mercy. Like, bro is one of the most overpowered characters here. Like, he will... Like, once you rip his newspaper, he will not stop until you're dead. Now we got District 12, we got Corporal Pig. He has a helmet. His helmet can protect him, but I don't think he could survive this. From a Keyblade guy to literally a character that once you rip his newspaper, he will go furious and beat the crap out of you until you're dead. I think Corporal Pig has some advantages, but I don't think so. And then we got Goku. Goku is one of the most strongest characters here. You guys saying I keep on saying strongest, but Goku is really that strong. Last I remember that Dragon Ball's Goku has that Super Saiyan form, so he could just defeat his opponents. Tentatively proceed. As the tribute stand on the podiums, the horn sounds. Eddy runs away with with a lighter and some rope. Yuri grabs a jar of fishing bait while Kirby gets fishing gear. Kernel-pult runs away from the cornucopia. Luigi runs away from the cornucopia. Oggy runs away from the cornucopia. Yumi, Pit, and Peashooter work together to get as many supplies as possible. Pewdiepie takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. And Meta Knight runs away from the cornucopia. Nazz runs away from the cornucopia. Grizzy stabs Markiplier in the back with a trident. Looks like I probably underestimate Grizzy. He literally killed one of the biggest YouTubers out here. One of the biggest YouTubers and popular YouTubers. Anyways, Red takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Shulk stays at the cornucopia for resources. Corporal Pig grabs a shield from inside for leaning inside on the cornucopia. Bro, you have your helmet. Squidward runs away from the cornucopia. Loid runs away from the cornucopia. Bayonetta scares newspaper away from the cornucopia. Bruh, newspaper, you're such a coward anyways. Goku grabs a bag and retreats. Hatsune Miku runs away from the cornucopia and runs into the cornucopia and hides. Blossom runs away from the cornucopia. Day 1. Eddy picks flowers. Grizzy discovers a cave. Well, not the first time Grizzy does that. Pewdiepie overhears Loid and Red talking in the distance. Cooper Pig dies from hunger. How do you able to do that, bro? Do you not even eat enough food? Peashooter, Pit, Blossom, and Squidward raids Schultz camp while he's hunting. Bruh, just some random plan. A dude with wings, a girl with flying abilities, and Squidward, and a miserable dude. Raid a guy with a freaking blade, with a sword. Yeah. Oggy tries to spear a fish with a trident, while Kirby, Yumi, Goku, and Meta Knight raids Nazz camp while she is hunting. Bro, what did Nazz do to you guys? Bayonetta fishes. Hatsune Miku diverts Luigi's attention and runs away. Newspaper explodes the arena. Yuri bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Bruh, you are an assassin and you died to something that dumb. And Kernel-pult makes a slingshot. Why do you need to make a slingshot? You're literally a character who can literally shoot any projectile. 3 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Markiplier, District 6. Corporal Pig, District 12. And Yuri, District 8. Night 1. Blossom sets up camp for the night. Luigi receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Loid loses sight of where he is. Squidward and Bayonetta sleeps in shifts. Nazz bashes Kirby's head with a... Nazz bashes Kirby's head with a mace. Looks like I underestimated Nazz as well, because she literally killed Kirby, one of the strongest character. Red and Yumi tell stories about themselves to each other. Shulk thinks about home. Kernel-pult, Hatsune Miku, Goku, and Meta Knight sleeps in shifts. Pewdiepie thinks about home. Pig kills Oggy with a hatchet. Peashooter tried to sing himself to sleep. Probably the song Zombie Time, which is the soundtrack from PvZ2. Grizzy tried to sing himself to sleep. And Eddy and newspaper huddle for warmth. What? Day 2. Grizzy, Yumi, Hatsune, Miku, and Peashooter race newspapers camp while he's hunting. Blossom practices her archery. Nazz steals from Loid while he isn't looking. Bruh. Red receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Bro got some TNT. Bayonetta dies from hunger. Shulk forces Goku to kill Kernel-pult or Pewdiepie. He decides to kill Kernel-pult. Well, looks like Kernel-pult didn't use the butter in time. And plus, Pewdiepie survives. Meta Knight and Squidward work together for the day. Eddy makes a wooden spear. Pig can handle the circumstances and commits suicide. Along with Luigi, who also commits suicide. Unfortunately, two biggest Nintendo characters die because they want to commit suicide. 6 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Kirby, District 9. Oggy, District 4. Bayonetta, District 5. Kernel-pult, District 2. Pit, District 5. And Luigi, District 7. Night 2. Shulk and Goku tell stories about themselves to each other. And Blossom looks at the night sky. Red thinks about winning. Of course, the champion from the second Hunger Games think about winning. Meta Knight is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Hatsune Miku receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Eddy screams for help. Yumi defeats Squidward in a fight but spares his life. Grizzy dies from hunger. How, bro? You're so fat. How are you able to die from hunger? Nazz, Peashooter, and Pewdiepie sleeps and shifts. And Loid lets newspaper into his shelter. Day 3. Blossom questions her sanity. Hatsune Miku and Peashooter work together for the day. Newspaper forces Eddy to kill Meta Knight or Nazz. He decides to kill Meta Knight. Eddy, how are you able to do that? How are you able to kill Meta Knight? Like, Meta Knight is one of the most strongest characters here. And Eddy, well, technically Eddy been through a lot of different crap, so I think this does not, And Eddy definitely doing very well. Like, the other of his friends, Ed and Eddy... no. Ed and Double D both died. So, one of the most... Anyways, Shulk questions his sanity. Pewdiepie injures himself. Goku, Yumi, and Loid hunts for other tributes. Squidward fishes. Red dies from hunger. And you died. 3 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Grizzy, District 4. Meta Knight, District 9. And Red, District 1. Squidward convinces Hatsune Miku to snuggle with him. Huh? Shulk forces Peashooter to kill Nazz or Pewdiepie. He decides to kill Pewdiepie! Bruh, Shulk literally threatens another character, but this time it's Peashooter. And Nazz again. And Nazz is one of the people that he was forced to kill. But, rip Pewdiepie. He was a good YouTuber as well. Loid and Goku threatens a double suicide. It fails and they die. Bruh. Yumi receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Blossom cries herself to sleep. And Eddy receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. And a newspaper cries himself to sleep. The feast. The cornucopia responds with food supplies, weapons, and memorials for the trivia's families. Peashooter decides to not go to the feast. Nazz, Squidward, and Shulk get into a fight. Shulk triumphantly kills them both! What? Hatsune Miku decides not to go to the feast. Newspaper repeatedly stabs Yumi to death with scythes. Eddy tracks down and kills Blossom! What? Bruh. Day 4. Eddy fishes. Shulk chases newspaper. Peashooter discovers a river. And Hatsune Miku receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. 7 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Pewdiepie, District 6. Loid, District 8. Goku, District 12. Nazz, District 11. Squidward, District 10. Yumi, District 1. And Blossom, District 3. Eddy tried to treat his infections, and Hatsune, Miku, Newspaper, Peashooter, and Shulk tell stories about each other to lighten the mood. Newspaper chases Peashooter, makes sense. Shulk goes hunting. Hatsune and Miku attempt to climb a tree but falls to her death, and Eddy thinks about home. One cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Hatsune Miku, District 10. Bruh. Newspaper and Shulk sleeps and shifts. Eddy kills Peashooter with his own weapon. Newspaper defeats Shulk in a fight but spare his life, and Eddy tried to sleep through the entire day. One cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Peashooter, District 2. Newspaper tried to treat his infections. Eddy is awoken by nightmares, and Shulk cries himself to sleep. Shulk stalks Newspaper, and Eddy searches for firewood. No cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Eddy sets an explosion off, killing Newspaper and Shulk! Wait a second. So that means Eddy wins! Holy crap. Eddy, this guy is insane. And by the way, he's my favorite character of... one of my favorite characters, so I'm very happy for Eddy for winning this game. I was not expecting Eddy to win, but he won. Let's say, Eddy has 5 kills. Literally not... like, Eddy has the most kills out of everyone. Most people has 1 kill. Shulk, on the other hand, has 2 kills. This makes it a lot insane. But Eddy, good job for you, Eddy. Eddy, let's give all of us give a round of applause for Eddy. Well, no one's here, but still, Eddy is the winner. It was insane. Looks like Eddy avenges Double D and Ed's death after. So looks like it's my third Hunger Games. See you next time.